This program was made possible by the generosity of the Boulder Public Library and the Boulder Library Foundation. Thank you! Hi, I'm Dana and I'm the founder of my nonprofit Cookies for Cures. Thank you so much, Boulder Public Library, for sponsoring this event, and thanks to you for baking with me. So today we're going to be making Jam Heart Thumbprint cookies. And your ingredients will be 300 grams of flour, or 2.5 cups, 1/2 teaspoon of salt, and 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder for your dry ingredients. Then your wet ingredients will be 1 egg, 1 teaspoon of vanilla, 1.5 sticks of butter, and 2/3 cup of sugar. Oh yeah, and then you'll also need some jam for filling. So the first step is to preheat your oven to 350 degrees. I've already done that. So now your second step will be to cream your butter and sugar. So this is going to be for our wet ingredients. We're going to grab our larger bowl and you're going to stick your butter in it and then put your sugar in and use a mixer to go and cream it for 5 minutes. Then sugar. And then now I'm going to just mix it up for 5 minutes or cream it, which is the same thing, so yeah. And then once you have it all off, you'll have some stuck here, so I like to just hold it a little bit above, but inside of my bowl, then turn the mixer on just so you can get the stuff off. All right, but anyway, so you're going to want your mixture to look really fluffy and maybe like sticking to the bottom, so this is mine. So now we're gonna need to add in our egg and vanilla and beat it up until it's combined. So I'm gonna set this off to the side, and now I'm gonna crack my egg. I like to just have this little bowl here, so when I'm cracking it open, I can stick my thumbs in and pull it out, and then I can fish any pieces of shell out. Alright, it doesn't look like I have any shell in there, so I'm good. And then now I'm gonna bring back my wet ingredients, dump in my egg, and pour in my vanilla. So now we're going to mix it up again, and this one doesn't have a time limit. You just are gonna mix it up until it's well combined. So now my egg and my vanilla are combined. It looks a little bit more golden than it used to. So now we're done with my with my wet ingredients. Sorry, I keep on mixing those two up. So we're going to set our wet ingredients aside and start the dry ones. So I have a bigger and lower rimmed bowl for my dry ingredients. So now we're going to do our dry ingredients, and we're going to pour in our flour and then put the salt and baking powder on top. And then we're going to whisk it together with a whisk. So when I first did this, I went crazy in circles and then it all flew everywhere. But I found a better technique, which is where you just go and bring it inward and then you spin the bowl. so now our next step will be combining the wet and dry together. So we're going to take back our wet ingredients and pull back out our mixer. And then we're going to do this by taking a measuring cup, scooping out a cup of dry, and then dumping it in and using the mixer to mix it up. Then we're going to do it again. And this doesn't have to be perfectly mixed because we're going to mix it over and over and over again. Get any more cups to fit into the bowl, you just go and pour all of our dry mixture in from the bowl. So now my cookie dough is ready. I'm going to shake it all off the mixer. And then so here it is, and it's pretty clumpy, and it's also like golden. So now I'm going to go and get my baking pans. So now we're going to go and shape our cookies and put the jelly in. So we're going to do this by creating like inch big balls, and you don't want to handle the dough too much, otherwise it will look really smooth and it won't have all of like the edges like in that make it look so good. So I'm gonna go and create an inch ball, and then I'm gonna set it down on my sheet, and then this is the part where I make the heart. So you're gonna take one thumb diagonal like this and press it in. Kind of deep, but not deep enough that your thumb hits the bottom. Then you're going to do it again on the other side, and with both of your thumbs, you should get like a heart shape like this. And now it's time to fill it up with jam. So we don't want our jam to be hunky like Jell-O, so we're gonna go and mix it up. So we're going to just go and mix up our jam real good to make sure that it's not hunky at all. Then I'm going to use one spoon to pick some up, then use the back of that spoon to go and drop it in. And then once you have like a glob of jelly in there, you're gonna take the back of this part of your spoon and just go and pull it around so that it fills up the heart shape. And voila! And then now you're going to do it so that you have 8 cookies on the tray. 3 on the top row, 2 on the bottom row in the spaces in between cookies, then 3 on the bottom row again. Now these cookies are ready to go into the oven. You bake them at 350 degrees for 15 to 18 minutes until the edges are like golden. Get help with the oven if you need it. Your cookies are done once the edges are golden brown. Let them rest for a few minutes and then you can transfer them to a cooling rack. Thank you so much for baking with me today. I hope you enjoy eating your cookies as much as you enjoyed making them. My nonprofit is Cookies for Cures. We are an organization run by kids for kids. We bake and sell cookies to fund research into rare pediatric diseases. You can learn more by going to my webpage or following me on social media. Thanks again to the Boulder Public Library and the Boulder Library Foundation for sponsoring this video. Thanks! With hope, butter, and love, Dana.